Hey, cut it out.
Oh, fancy a kiss, darling. Fancy a kiss. On your way. Wait, stop it.
That was nice.
Look, over there. There you go. Now, look, over there. No, here. Go back. Over here, Grandad. Look, come on, Grandad.
You're up, boys. You're just here, boys. Here. Go on.
Come on, Grandad. Go catch that ball.
All right, lads, can't pack it in. That's enough. That's enough.
Put this back.
Oh,
Let go.
What are you doing? Hey! Come on.
What have I done?
Nicking from a till. I'm nicking you.
Nah.
Come on.
There's also a high number of racial incidents reported. It's a tendency that's been there for several months.
Yeah, there's more being reported, so yes, shows more trust in the police.
Yes, possibly. They're just the sort of figures, though, that are going to alert the busybodies at area. That's why they're sending somebody down here to check that Sunhill isn't a hotbed of racism.
The local community relations men are doing a good job. We don't need any interference. We don't have any more incidents than any other.
Don't tell me, Derek. Tell him when he arrives.
Norika, a domestic for you.
Sounds exciting, Sarge.
Think I'm ready for it?
Family with the name of Gopal.
I wonder where they can be from.
Coiners Road, number 54. The daughter phone seemed to be a lot of shouting going on. I'm sure you can sort it out as our resident expert in ethnic matters.
I was born in Uxbridge.
Nobody's perfect.
Yes, come in. Ah,
Mr. Brownlow. Superintendent Jarvie, pleased to meet you, sir.
nice to meet you. This is Derek Conway, my Chief Inspector of Operations.
We've met.
Oh, yes. We were inspectors together. Long time ago, eh, Derek?
Yes.
Well, do sit down.
Well, now, the figures suggest that you have a problem here at Sunhill, and I suggest that I might be able to help you with it.
Well, we could do with all the help we can get.
Yes, if we need it.
Oh, I think you do. The figures over recent months are not impressive, sir, I'm afraid. A mixed ethnic area like this always has its problems. My job is to point them out, so that officers, lower ranks mainly, can no longer choose to ignore them.
Well, I'm sure there's always something to learn, eh, Derek?
Yes, sir. I look forward to being instructed.
Sir?
Are you the life and soul of the party?
I've had my moments, sir.
Have you ever stolen a button or a pin?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Neither do I, but we are required to complete a questionnaire on the stress caused by break-ins and thefts.
What, to us?
Don't be naive, June. It's to help a psychiatrist, University Department of Criminology. Go and ask the victims, the half a dozen names there. It's voluntary, of course.
Well, can't they do their own research? How many questions are there?
Only 150.
Have you ever considered revenge against the perpetrator of the crime against you?
Mention the victim support group. Ask if they know of its existence.
Yes, sir. I'll make it my 151st question.
Good.
What would you like to do while you're here, sir?
Meet the officers here, discuss, advise, offer my experience for their instruction. Is that all right with you?
Anything you like, sir. Just don't expect me to be impressed.
Derek, about the tip-off that time. I had my reasons for not taking your advice.
Yeah, and a good copper was invalided out because you let that co-op blag go off just so that you could grab the glory. You could have prevented that robbery.
I was in control. I made my decisions. I stand by them still. I will not discuss it. I will forget this conversation. I want to be informed of all ethnic minority persons detained for whatever reason, starting from now.
Certainly, sir.
Mrs. Gopal? Yes? WPC Datta from Sunhill Police Station. Have you got a problem?
There were words between them.
Between Mr. Gopal and...
Sonora, our eldest daughter.
She is no longer our daughter. She was brought up by a relative in Bombay. She has changed, become a fast woman.
A career woman.
All right. Let's talk to her, shall we? Where is she?
This way.
Miss Gopal, I'm from Sunhill Police Station. I believe you telephoned.
Yes, I telephoned. You are a policewoman?
Yes. Now, what seems to be the problem?
Ask her why she should lock herself away.
I can ask my own questions, Mr. Gopal.
I was waiting for her. For an officer of the law. I wish to bring a charge of assault against him.
Against your father?
He struck me. Here, see the mark, the blood? You deserved it. No respect for the parents. Quiet. Well, what are you waiting for, officer? Arrest him!
Never mind what his stupid old Pratt says. I didn't take anything.
Sergeant Peters saw you.
Saw me what? Do what?
Put your hand in the till.
God is thick. I was leaving money, not taking it.
Oh.
That's not a crime with you lot, is it? Paying for things?
Yeah, a bit of blood. You could call it common assault, but it's borderline ABH.
Try and calm them down. They don't really want to go to court, do they?
Well, it's the daughter. I think she's being a bit
Bloody minded.
Have another go. If you still want an official, then bring them all in. Let the surgeon take a look at her. Take statements, then we'll see.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Sarge.
All part of the service.
You were doing a title against women. You must arrest my father. You are witness to his violence. My fear, my injury.
Mr. Gopal, would you mind coming down to the station where we can talk this over?
No.
Mr. Gopal, if you come down to the station, we can have your daughter examined by the doctor and I can get her to make a proper statement. Perhaps by then she will have calmed down and we can save embarrassment. I really think you should come down to the station, sir.
If I must.
Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving, over.
Go ahead, 181.
Why are you doing this?
Transport, please, Sarge. 2 to come in.
How many questions? How's it going to help, anyway?
Well, the experts to start off with.
Experts? What do they know?
And then they pass the findings on to us. It can be very helpful. It can give us an insight into the way that we...
Insight, darling? You don't need insight. You need more men on the beat.
Well, if we knew more about victim stress, then we could ask for more funds for support groups.
Do you consider yourself a violent person? They're asking me if I'm a villain.
No, you have to look at the questions as a whole.
You should have asked the kids what done my office safe. 100 hours community they got. Ask the courts why. Ask the parents. Ask anyone, lady, but don't ask me. 'Cause I'm one of the old school, and I was brought up not to swear in front of females. OK?
Something the matter, sir?
What's that boy doing in there?
I caught him robbing a till, sir.
That is Jamir Goodwin.
Know him, do you, sir?
I certainly do. He's the eldest son of Aslam Goodwin, chairman of this area's Community Relations Committee, leader of the Asian community. A fine man, a respected colleague of mine. I'd better go and speak to him.
Superintendent Jarvis from TO30, Community Liaison.
Oh, I see, sir. That explains it.
Have you decided on a charge against... what's his name?
Jamir Goodwin, sir.
Yeah, not yet, sir. We haven't got a witness.
Apart from me.
Yeah, all right, Alec. We spoke to the shopkeeper about the money missing out of the till, but he's not sure.
I caught him taking the money, sir.
He denies everything, absolutely and categorically.
Well, he would, sir, wouldn't he?
I believe him. Jameer's father is a wealthy man. There's no reason for him to steal. I know his family. You've made a mistake. He was frightened by you running towards him, so he panicked. Understandable to anyone who had any ethnic sensitivity. Who's the custody sergeant?
I am, sir.
There's insufficient evidence.
Can I decide on that, sir?
Did you hear me, Sergeant?
Yes, sir, I did. And I hope you heard what I said. I am custody officer on duty in this station. Now, I don't know how long it is since you were operationally involved in the running of a police station. But as custody officer, I decide who's being charged and who isn't.
This isn't an ordinary matter. You could be igniting a powder keg. Have you forgotten about Brixton and Broadwater Farm?
I was at Broadwater. I didn't see you, sir.
Sergeant, let an expert decide.
An expert?
Can we discuss this?
I thought we were.
In my office.
As you please.
do we get these dead legs from?
From the knacker's yard. Useless at anything else, so they're promoted to where they can do the most harm.
What about this kid?
He was nicking. I saw it.
Your chief superintendent said you were to support my decisions.
The rules of PACE say that the responsibility for criminal charges lies with the custody sergeant. That officer on this relief on this day is Sergeant Cryer. Not me, not you.
I've been in racist stations like this before.
That's rubbish.
Custody sergeants pressing charges just to spite me, supported by superior officers who resent my promotion above them.
What are you trying to say?
That you and Sergeant Cryer want to press charges against that boy because his skin happens to be darker than yours.
There's no point making your headline-grabbing statements here. You haven't got an audience. There's no press.
Those are offensive remarks, Chief Inspector. I shall have to report them.
And I shall deny them. Within these four walls, I'll say exactly what I want. This is my nick, and it's a good nick. You come in here setting yourself up as some sort of crusader, spouting a load of jargon that you picked up on some course, and bullying a custody sergeant who's a better copper than you'll ever be.
You're a resentful man, Derek. That's probably what's held you back.
Out, sir.
Did he have anything in his pocket he could have bought?
There wasn't anything.
Did you ask him?
I've done this sort of thing before, you know, Bob. He said he was paying for an apple that he dropped when I dived in.
Well, it sounds possible.
Oh, come off it. Next thing he'd be accusing me of robbing the till and him making a citizen's arrest.
Alec! It's not that big a deal.
It is in principle.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Mrs. Dakin, these are only questions. They're an attempt to help the victims of burglary, both now and in the future.
Stress. You want me to talk to you about that thing?
Well, you reported the theft of a sum of money from this flat. It was £105, and your husband reported the loss
I
on
thought you'd found out who had stolen it.
No, it's still on the unsolved list.
Oh.
I don't understand. You don't want the theft solved?
Yes.
You wouldn't want the thief to get away with it.
Thieves should be punished.
The money was definitely stolen.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Dakin, you know who the thief was, don't you?
My man would kill him. He hates crime. You mustn't tell him. The money's gone. Gambled. Gone. My son, Mel. He will never do it again. Promise me you won't name him.
I can't promise yes or no, Mrs. Dakin. Look, I only wanted to ask you a few questions.
And I want to answer them.
Right. Are you the life and soul of the party?
I love a party. I haven't cleared up after the last one yet. You won't say nothing, will you?
This way, please. Would you wait here a moment, please? Thank you.
They're named Gadwani.
No, Gopal. Now, don't say we all look the same, Sarge.
You're wasting your time with this lot.
Why?
Only nicking whites today.
I made up my mind before. Only Alec Peters' word as evidence. Kid's got no record. The CPS never proceed with it.
OK.
Mr. Brownlow asked me about it, but I told him it was my decision, regardless of advice.
OK, thanks, Bob. Objectivity is the thing. You're probably right.
Well, I might be wrong, but at least I made up my own mind.
Give my very best wishes to your father, Jameer.
I'll tell him.
I simply want you to talk to each other about this.
A father has the right to chastise his daughter.
To strike her? To do violence to her? To do this? To draw blood?
Mr. Gopal, can I talk to your daughter alone? Would you wait outside a minute, please, sir?
What are we waiting for? Throw him into a cell. Teach him a lesson. Show him the world has changed. Moved on everywhere except this backwater.
I cannot listen.
Dinosaur.
OK, sir. If you'd like to take a seat.
I live in Bombay. I'm just visiting London. I was brought up by my aunt. She gave me freedom. What do I find here? Do this, don't go out.
My dad was like that, till I trained him.
You are cleverer than I. I can only fight.
Why'd you have to fight with your dad?
I could return to Bombay, but my sisters will be left here with him. They will have to put up with his tyranny. But if they know the law will protect them, they can bid for freedom like ours.
Don't you think that's a bit extreme?
No?
It is the shame of it. My community. People pointing and saying he cannot control his family. She made me so angry. Sir, I'm not a violent man. A tiny little smack. Now she wants me to be imprisoned?
You won't be. Don't worry. Now then, I'll sort it out. Where's your daughter? You wait here.
Maybe this is enough. Maybe you've taught him a lesson now.
Do you think so?
Now, what's all this wasting of police time?
Who are you?
Superintendent Jarvie. I know all about your case, young lady, and I have to tell you, there could be serious trouble for you unless all this nonsense stops.
You see this? I want charges brought against the man who did it. And I am making those charges. Do you understand? Well, do it!
Now, you're upset at the moment, but when you calm down, you'll realise you don't want the shame of going to court over a family disagreement.
I know what I am doing. Tell me. Show me why I cannot bring a charge against my father. Because he is a father? Stalin was a father.
He is your father, your family, the head. Duty? You know your place, he has his. Surely you must...
Stop this! Do I have to talk to this person? Do you not employ somebody who understands the modern Asian community? Who was that cretin?
Area Community Liaison Officer. His aim is to bring Asians and the community together. Top man in his field. Look, let's get out of here. There's another room where we won't be disturbed. Bit of peace and quiet to turn over what's best.
I'm not changing my mind.
No, of course not. How could you?
Who's the exotic one?
Oh, surely you know Narika, Tosh.
Aren't you Miss Sharp and Witty?
No, anything but. I've just been asking 755 daft questions.
What's that, the burglary stress question, eh?
Yeah.
You should have done what I did.
Yeah?
Uniformer said, Inspector Monroe said, and he passed it on to you.
Thanks a bunch.
Wait, come across anything we might have missed or need to know?
No, Tosh, nothing you need to know. That.
You got servants?
Of course.
But you work.
Yes, I have a career.
My parents had servants in Uganda before they were expelled.
Were you born here?
Yeah.
Not quite so brave then for you to have this job as a policewoman.
Ugh, don't you believe it? My father had 40 fits. But I proved I was serious, did the training, survived my first posting. And I'm here now. And my dad, well, we went up to this wedding in Huddersfield, right? And like everyone knew me as being that very fine policewoman from London.
Your father had been talking?
Yeah, boasting. Our parents need time, that's all.
It's different for you.
Now it is. I better see the custody sergeant. He'll need to fill in the charge sheet against your father.
Yes.
I'll inform him that you won't change your mind, neither will you compromise about the charge of assault.
Why should I?
It's not for me to say, Sonora.
But you have an opinion.
Okay, yeah. You'll change nothing by this. I'm an outsider, but I can see one thing. You and your father are very alike.
Stubborn. Yes. I am like him. I have a strong character.
Well, why not show your strength of understanding? Show your father that you understand his way of thinking, and then show him how the world's changing.
I will consider what you say.
Did you see that? He nicked it right under your nose. Must be mad.
Get your hands up, I'm not running away.
Jamie, Goodwin, I'm arresting you for the theft of a portable radio, and I must caution you not obliged to say anything about anything you do say may be used in evidence.
Yeah,
against
stuff it.
Come on then, little ride back to the Nick.
I can't leave the store, mate.
No, there's no problem. Someone will be down later. Get a statement.
Thank you.
I don't understand you. You're a wealthy lad.
Why should you? An old man like you. You and my father. Old, respectable.
What's your dad going to say?
All right.
About what's he going to say?
Who cares? My mates know now I'm not on his side. Goody, goody, do-gooder. See, I'm on their side, not his. I'm not afraid of nicking. I'm not scared of you or the consequences.
Thank you.
Jamia, where are you go?
Caught him lifting this, sir.
Jamia?
Well, like he says.
You've got a witness.
This time I have. Yes, sir.